It's a chill day and I'll be going live. Just waiting for a few people to join the live stream. Talk about the UEFA Nations League. Okay. Talk to me, people. What's up? What's up, Adnan? What's up? So guys, I just want to do a quick discussion. Quick. Note I said quick. It might not be quick, but I just want to do a discussion of the UEFA Nations League match day 1. The first day of match day 1. What's up, everyone? So just let me know when you're ready for us to start talking about this. Let me know if you're hearing me properly, if you're seeing me properly and everything. So I haven't done a live stream in quite a while, so it feels kind of weird, you know. What's up, Persian Predicts, man? What's up? So guys, are you hearing me properly? Are you seeing me properly? It's extremely hot in New York City. I don't know why it's so hot. It hasn't been this hot this summer, but I don't know. All of a sudden, it just decides to get really hot. But what's up, Brian Hinojosa? What's up, man? All the way from Canada. Mihoville, Ivkich. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, Aliou Ndaye, what's up, man? All the way from Senegal. All right, so guys, the only match I actually watched today, like the full 90 minutes, was the Germany versus France fixture. But I want to start talking about the Group D. You know, not the Group D. I keep getting mixed up with Group and League. League D. League D. I want to talk about the League D fixtures first. In League D, we saw Kazakhstan and Georgia play each other today. Georgia defeated Kazakhstan 2-0. I actually predict Georgia to be the team to be promoted to League C. I keep getting mixed up with the groups, but Georgia to get promoted to League C. The first goal of this season's UEFA Nations League was actually scored by a man by the name of Georgi Chakvetsadze. I don't even know if I'm saying that name right, but he scored a brilliant goal on the edge of the box to open the scoring for the 2018-19 UEFA Nations League. So Georgia scored in the 4th minute via an own goal when Sergei Malai scored that goal. Kazakhstan, you know, not a very good start for them, but that own goal was a silly own goal. I actually saw the replays for all the games, but I only actually saw, you know, the Germany versus France fixture. So that's a Group 1 in League D match, and Georgia 3 points. That's a really good 3 points for Georgia. So the next fixture was between Armenia and Liechtenstein. Armenia, that was actually a Group 4 of League D. Group 4 of League D. Guys, I'm not currently reading comments, but I just want to get through these fixtures right now because you guys probably did not watch the Kazakhstan-Georgia match or actually the Armenia versus Liechtenstein game. So I just want to run through these fixtures pretty early, and then we will go into a little bit of Q&A. Yes, Mkhitaryan did play. I don't remember if he started, but he did play. So Armenia defeated Liechtenstein 2-0, and Marcos Pizzelli scored first for Armenia in the 30th minute, and 3 minutes later, Sandro Wolfinger, what a name, Mr. Wolfinger, equalized for Liechtenstein in the 33rd minute. But then late in the game, Tigran Barsegayan scored the winner for Armenia. The game was, you know, it was a whole mix-up, and it was a pretty comical moment there. The game between Latvia and Andorra, another Group 1 game of League D, ended in a 0-0 draw. I think this was this along with the France versus Germany match was the only 0-0 game today. So not much to talk about with that game. And then Gibraltar lost 2-0 to the former Yugoslavia Republic of Macedonia in Group 4. Guys, don't mind the planes passing and all of that, you know. I'm outside. It's really hot today, so I just figured I'll do a live stream because in the house, man, it's super hot. I really couldn't do a video today on this. So Gibraltar lost to Macedonia. The first goal was scored by Ivan Trichovsky and the second by Egzian Alioski, which was a brilliant goal. These you know, lower profile matches could be really enjoying as well. So don't sleep on the lower profile games, guys. Then that's it for League D. So we saw Georgia bagging a win today. We saw Macedonia bagging a win and Armenia bagging a win. I'll actually go back and tell you guys the teams that I actually think are going to go through from. Okay, let me do that one time. In Group 1, I actually think that Georgia is going to actually go through. We have Georgia, Latvia, Andorra, and Kazakhstan. I'm picking Georgia to go through from that group. I actually have my laptop right here, guys, but it seems like the laptop is freezing up. Wow. This laptop never freezes, but okay. But then let's move on, guys. Let's move on. League C. Slovenia lost 2-1 versus Bulgaria. They were at home. Slovenia scored first to Miha Zajc. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, in the 40th minute. No, actually Bulgaria scored first in the 3rd minute. Bulgaria scored first in the 3rd minute to Kraev. That was a really good goal by Kraev. But then Slovenia equalized in the 40th minute, and then Kraev scored again in the 59th minute to seal the win for Bulgaria. In the other League C match between Norway and Cyprus, Norway defeated Cyprus 2-0. Norway is actually the team I'm actually picking to get promoted to League B. Stefan Johansson scored both of Norway's goals to bag 3 points for the Scandinavian team. Let's move on to League B. I almost said group again there, guys. Czech Republic versus Ukraine. This was a very, very exciting match. It was the last match today to finish. Ukraine defeated the Czech Republic 2-1. The Czech Republic scored first to Patrick Schick, but then Yevhen Konoplyanka scored on the brink of halftime. And late in the game, my Manchester City player Zinchenko scored a very fortunate goal to seal the win for Ukraine. In the other match, Wales versus the Republic of Ireland, it was a goal fest for Wales as they defeated the Republic of Ireland 4-1. Guys, I told you the Republic of Ireland is going to get relegated from League B. Wales, I think, is going to stay in this group. They will not move on to League A, in my opinion. But if Gareth Bale continues to play this way, they will definitely move on. For Wales, the goal scorers were Tom Lawrence in the 6th minute, Gareth Bale in the 18th minute, Aaron Ramsey in the 37th minute, Connor Roberts in the 55th minute, and then there was a consolation goal for the Republic of Ireland in the 66th minute when I think Aaron Ramsey lost the ball in the defense. It was a really, really funny moment, and, you know, Republic of Ireland scored. But by then, you know, Wales had already run away with the game at home. And for the last fixture today was the Germany versus France, man. This game, we could actually, you know, have a little bit of discussion. I want to just go through the game. A matter of fact, guys, I could answer some questions right now because I already go through the 3 lower leagues, and before I actually talk about the Germany versus France fixture, I will, you know, take some questions. So guys, what questions do you have for me? You could ask me any question you want right now. We could discuss these League D to B matches if you like. But all the goals were, most of the goals are really, really good. I really like the UEFA Nations League. I think that it definitely adds context to international football in Europe. And I don't really, you know, friendlies, you know, one thing I don't like about the friendlies is the fact that some players don't even take it seriously. You know, 6-7 substitutions made. And, you know, I don't really agree with that. But Adnan asked a really good question right here. What's been going on with Denmark? Well, I didn't make a video about the whole Denmark situation because not everything I actually want to make videos about, you know, it's not really a news channel, so I don't really talk about every single thing that actually happened. I talk about some things, I react to certain things, but not everything. So the Denmark situation, it's a whole fallout between, you know, the players on the sponsorship and, you know, pay disputes and all of that. Something along that line, and the players refused not to play. So the Denmark FA was forced to call up players from the third tier and also call up players from the futsal team. And they didn't do too bad versus Slovakia at all. They lost the match 3-0. You know, I was actually thinking that Denmark was actually going to lose that match like 7-0 or something, but they only lost the game 3-0, which is not bad at all. But I really hope that they sort out the situation before Sunday's match, man. I can't deal with, you know, I'm taking this thing seriously. I'm taking the UEFA Nations League seriously. I'm making videos, you know, doing predictions and stuff. And then the Denmark, they have a whole crisis going on over there where they can't even feel a strong team. I even predicted them to top their group. And come on. I think they are in the group with the Republic of Ireland and Wales. So if things continue this way, you know, Denmark might get relegated. But we expect them to get their situation fixed by next month, you know. So that's what's basically going on with the Danish team there. I don't understand how my laptop is frozen. I don't understand at all. Like, wow. But anyways, any more questions, guys? Questions. Will Croatia be a top of the league? Well, I'm actually predicting Croatia to win their group. Not because, you know, there's a lot of Croatian subscribers here, and I've been, you know, doing a lot of videos on the Croatian football. It's just because I think, you know, despite losing Mandzukic and Subasic and Charluka, they should replace those players very easily. They have players who are capable and of similar ability, and I think they will definitely, you know, top this group. But Zlatko Dalic is saying that it's not a priority, so who knows? Maybe Croatia might just get relegated as well. We don't know. We don't know. Well, Pravias 7 says Charluka isn't so good. Well, maybe he isn't that good anymore, but he used to be a top player, you know, maybe, let's say, 8 years ago. But still, his team won the Russian Premier League, so I guess he is still good. Questions. Would have Germany won with Ozil at dominicrichfc? I don't think it would have made a difference. For real, I don't rate Ozil very highly, to be honest. I think Ozil is a very lazy, and he's too laid back. I think he's just too laid back as a player. That's just my personal opinion on Mesut Ozil. But the Germany versus France game. Well, let's talk about that match a little before we get into the Q&A. Germany versus France, the 2014 World Cup champs versus the 2018 World Cup champs. Joachim Löw versus Didier Deschamps, as we all know. The match was played at the Allianz Arena in front of 75,000 people. It was a big crowd. It was a full house. For Germany, excuse me there, guys. Rudely interrupted by someone who parked right over there. But for Germany, their 11 was Manuel Neuer. They played a 4-2-3-1, and I felt like they played a very, very defensive 11 with Manuel Neuer in the goal, Rudiger at left back. Note I said Rudiger at left back. He does not play as a fullback ever. Then we have Jerome Boateng, Mats Hummels, center half, Matthias Ginter at right back. Well, that's a strange one as well, but he is a utility player. Joshua Kimmich in a central defensive midfield position. Then we had Toni Kroos also in a holding midfield position. Leon Goretzka further ahead. Timo Werner on the left-hand side. Thomas Muller on the right. And Marco Reus as a striker. Imagine that. Marco Reus as a striker. So the way Joachim Löw is setting up, I think he was going in pretty, you know, defensive. And, you know, he wasn't really taking too many risks. Look at that back line. 4 central defenders playing in the back line. So, but I think Rudiger did a really good job at left back though. For France, Didier Deschamps plays a similar formation of 4-2-3-1. We had Alphonse Areola making his debut, and I think he was actually the man of the match today with a whole lot of brilliant saves. It was a spew of saves. There were like 4 brilliant saves in a row, and we had the same 11, pretty much the same 11 that played in the World Cup final, with the exception of Alphonse Areola making his debut. So we had Lucas Hernandez, Samuel Umtiti, Rafa Varane, Benjamin Pavard, N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba, Antoine Griezmann, Blaise Matuidi, Kylian Mbappe, and Olivier Giroud still goalless since the World Cup. I'm not surprised. But we had no goals in the match, but it was a pretty exciting game. It was an exciting match. I really enjoyed the game. There was a lot of chances, you know, by both teams. Kylian Mbappe, you know, was pretty stylish with some nice, you know, stylish passes. Alphonse Areola was brilliant today with his saves. Manuel Neuer pulled off a few saves as well. N'Golo Kante was his busy self. The game, it was a level playing field, you know. Germany started it out better than France, worked their way into the game. And then, you know, it was an open match. Both teams had chances. They basically canceled each other out, you know. France came into this game, you know, the more comfortable of the two sides, coming off of a World Cup win. That's no pressure at all. But Germany flopped in the 2018 World Cup, so all the pressure was on Joachim Löw and his team, you know. So he had something to prove. He didn't want to come here. He didn't want to come to that game and actually lose at home in front of 75,000 people. And, you know, they went out there. They played positive foot. I think they did play positive football, and they scraped out a draw. I actually watched the game. It was the only match that I saw today. I did not watch any of the other friendly matches that were playing. I am not actually a big fan of friendly matches, because when, you know, tournament games are playing, I actually watch the tournament games and not the friendly matches. So that does it for the UEFA Nations League roundup in terms of the games played. So we only had one League A match playing today, and that ended 0-0 between Germany and France. We had 2 League B games, one between Czech Republic and Ukraine. Ukraine won that game, 2 goals to 1. Wales defeated Republic of Ireland 4 goals to 1. And in the 2 League C matches, Bulgaria defeated Slovenia 2 goals to 1, and Norway defeated Cyprus 2 goals to 0. In the League D games, we actually had 4 League D games today, where Georgia defeated Kazakhstan 2 goals to 0. Armenia defeated Liechtenstein 2 goals to 1. Latvia and Andorra played to a 0-0 draw, and the former Yugoslavia Republic of Macedonia defeated Gibraltar 2 goals to 0. So it was a good day. It was a good day of UEFA Nations League football. Guys, it's seriously freaking hot, man. I'm telling you. But I have a drink here, so let me take a sip. So, let's start, guys. Let's start. Discussion only. We are done with the UEFA Nations League roundup of all the games that was played today. I want to actually do more videos tomorrow on the... Not more. I want to do another video tomorrow on the UEFA Nations League. And I'm thinking whether I should do a live video or not. I think I should do a live video because, guys, I put a lot of work into making these videos. If you don't know it, it takes time, it takes effort. And while doing that, I have to be isolated. Basically, nobody else gets attention. So doing live videos actually, you know, eases the load a little bit. The load of editing and all of that. So, okay. Inquisitive 87-1 asks, do you think players are interested? Do you mean if I think players are interested in the Nations League? I do think so. Some players have personal reasons why they are not, you know, in the squad. Maybe they have injuries. You know, when you think about it, some of these players, you know, they weigh club football higher than international football because of, you know, monetary reasons, of course, and contractual, you know, reasons as well. Because in the case of Ronaldo, I didn't really read into why he did not, he withdrew from Portugal's squad for the opening games. of the the UEFA Nations League, but you know, it's CR7, man. He has done so much for Portugal already. It's time for us to see what Portugal can do with Ronaldo not in the squad. So, more questions. If I did not see your questions, guys, you could ask them again. Okay. So, let me say. So, someone, Dolphin Mercy said Cristiano Ronaldo, 12 goals max for Juve. Well, he haven't really had a good start for Juventus so far, you know. I think he just needs time to acclimatize, man. Give him some time, and sooner or later he will start banging them in. But who knows? This might be his most, you know, disappointing season in his career. We never know. We never know. We will just have to wait and see. But I think he's going to achieve big things at Juventus, though. I definitely think so. Guys, bring in the questions. Bring in the questions. If you don't bring in the questions, I'll have to end the video. Taylor Twellman was saying that the UEFA Nations League will hurt the US because they will have less Nations League. They will have, They will have less friendlies against European teams. I actually heard when he said that, and I think it's actually BS, because what the US has to do is venture out, find friendlies against, you know, other competitive teams. There's a lot of Asian teams that they could find friendlies to play against, and, you know, Japan, South Korea, those teams will, you know, give US a good run for their money. Australia, you know, why do you have to play against European teams in order to actually, you know, play tough games? Like, I don't see the big thing about that. But as they found, they are playing Brazil, and I can't remember the other fixture, but you know, look, they're finding competitive fixtures. So Europe want to do its own thing. They want to do its own thing. The CONCACAF, they're going to do their own thing as well with the CONCACAF Nations League. But Europe has to take care of Europe, and they have to prioritize their international teams first. So they're not really worrying about, oh, if we play, for example, against each other, we wouldn't, you know, be stronger. We need to play against other oppositions. No, they're not thinking like that, because throughout history, they have been dominating teams from all the other confederations, maybe with the exception of, you know, the CONMEBOL. But, you know, UEFA just wants to improve their brand of football, and hence the reason for the UEFA Nations League. I really like the idea, and, you know, it felt really good today watching the games. To be honest, it felt good. It felt like the games had some actual purpose, you know what I mean? Like there was something on the line to play for. You're not just going to go out there and, you know, change 6 to 7 players at halftime, and then in the second half we have a total different game. We don't even know what's going on. That's what I don't like about friendlies. But they're still international fixtures, so we still have to respect them. Okay, any questions? Roberto Beshwick asks, who is hungrier, Messi or Ronaldo? Well, both players are hungry. Ronaldo always shows that he is hungrier than Messi, but, you know, both players are hungry. Because if Messi wasn't hungry, his football would have dropped off a long time ago. So he is hungry. He trains very hard. You could see a transformation in Lionel Messi's, you know, physique and, you know, just his look and everything. So he is on top of things just the way Cristiano Ronaldo is. Did I miss any questions? Do you think Nations League can work for Africa? Well, Austin Herzig, what's up, Austin Herzig? Has been with the channel for quite a while. I really appreciate your input and your comments. Just want to take the time to recognize my boy Austin Herzig right there. African Nations League. It's an interesting concept, but they have the African Cup of Nations. They have, you know, the CHAN, that they play a competition that does not include foreign-based players. They got some things going on for them. I don't know if the African Nations League can be a feasible thing, you know, financially, and, you know, for example, all the national associations working with each other to make it possible. You know, it's a lot of corruption in Africa. There's corruption everywhere, but there's a lot of corruption in Africa. So I don't know if that one would work. But it could actually happen. It could actually happen. If it's going to happen in Europe, it could happen in Africa. Africa has maybe what, like 40-something countries or 50-something. I'm not sure right now off the top of my head, but it can work. You know, I'm looking forward to see how the CONCACAF Nations League is going to play out. It might be, not might be, it's going to be low profile. It's going to be a low profile tournament, but it will help. It will help the CONCACAF teams because, for example, picture a team like my island, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, like qualifying. They have to play qualifiers first. For example, if St. Vincent qualifies for a really, really good group or good league with competitive teams, it can actually help the brand of football in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What they will actually have to do now is contract, give players some contract, because I don't even think that's going on in St. Vincent right now. I think because when they have, you know, national team duties, these players are regular men, you know, like me and you. You know, they are teachers, you know, they're farmers, fishermen, unemployed, and they get called up to play. They have to drop what they're doing and they go and play. But if we have a continuous competition like a CONCACAF Nations League, it can actually be beneficial for smaller nations to climb their way up the ladder. That's just how I see it, because it would actually offer, you know, some kind of financial incentives for the smaller nations as well. So it could work in Africa, if it's going to work in Europe, and if it's going to work in CONCACAF. So I hope that answers your question. All right, any more questions? Bosscraft asks, Rebic or Sergej Milinkovic-Savic? Well, there are two different types of players. Rebic is a winger, a forward. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is a midfielder. They're both very good players, but right about now, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic's stock is a little bit higher than Rebic's stock. Let's just keep it 100% with that. Okay. Scroll up. I won't write. Okay. I can't say your name, but NZ Newsluz. What a name. Let me try to find your question. Okay. Let me scroll up and try to find this question. Okay. I'm not seeing the question. Okay. What is the next nation that might explode like Croatia? Very good question. Okay. What is the next nation that might explode like Croatia? That one is a pretty tough question. It's a tough question. But, damn. Croatia was it was a big deal before. They came third in the World Cup, but if we have to say like explode, maybe a team like Wales. Wales is a team that comes to mind. If we want to keep it European, think about Wales, because look at how they played today. The team was pretty damn impressive. You had Aaron Ramsey. I saw Ampadu playing, that Chelsea youngster, Gareth Bale, you know, the few goal scorers, and I can't really name the players off the top of my head right now, and my laptop is actually freezing up, so I can't actually look up the squad, but I can think about Wales right now. Okay, Aliyu, ask your question again. Ask your question again. Please, guys, if I did not answer your questions, ask them now. Ask them now. I'm actually reading questions right now. I'm paying attention to the question section right now. Okay. Brian Hinojosa asks, are you going to cover the CONCACAF Nations League and the African Cup of Nations qualifiers? Okay. Brian, I was actually planning to do the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, in that I was actually going to do a video predicting the 24 teams that was going to make it. But when you really think about it, it's really hard. It is really hard. There's so much football playing right now that it's like super hard for me to cover everything. You know, if I have to watch Nations League, then I have to watch friendlies. A lot of you guys want me to watch the friendlies. Then there's African Cup of Nations qualifying. There's CONCACAF Nations League qualifiers as well. I can't cover everything. I really can't. What I could actually do, I could actually look at the matches and see if I can squeeze a few videos in about those. But right now, I'm not really planning to do anything on those things right now. Not at this point. Orange Broom asked, did you watch Croatia Portugal today? No, I did not watch the Croatia Portugal today because it was a friendly game and there was UEFA Nations League tournament matches playing at that time, and I did not watch it. I give priority to the UEFA Nations League. But the game ended 1-1. Perisic scored first, and then Portugal equalized to Pepe in the 33rd minute. So I do know what's going on with the game. It was a draw. Okay, who is going to win the Champions League? Well, I haven't really tackled the whole Champions League thing yet, and I don't want to actually talk about the Champions League right now. I want to keep it UEFA Nations League. That answers my question. That answers your question, sorry. Okay, more questions. Let me try to get the questions. Have you seen highlights of Adama Traore? He's a great dribbler. Yes, Adnan, I haven't seen highlights. I said yes, and then I said I haven't. But I do know Adama Traore as a player. I am aware of who he is. He is Spanish, I think, and he plays for Wolves, formerly of Middlesbrough. Really, really good player. Because he has been playing really well this season, and if he continues playing like this, he will definitely earn a move to one of these bigger clubs. Okay, who do you think is better, Hungary or Romania? I think both teams are on a similar scale right now. I do think they're on a similar scale right about now. One of the smaller teams in Europe. Two of the smaller teams in Europe. Would you rather see Man City win the Champions League or your country win the World Cup? Of course, my country win the World Cup. Of course, that's my country. That is my country. I'm a Man City fan, but Man City haven't really, you know, done anything for me. Like the club itself, you know, the people from the club haven't done anything for me, but my country have done a lot for me. You know, I love my country. All right, what do you think, Inquisitive 887-1, what do you think of a global Champions League idea? That's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea. I like that idea. I like a global Champions League idea, but global Champions League means that it will be spread across months. You know, players from clubs will be traveling, you know, here and there. It's a pretty cool idea. I like it. I like it. Global Champions League. Wow. Global Champions League, or you could have like a Club World Cup, a 32-team Club World Cup. But the 32-team Club World Cup would be a tournament that has to have a window for it. But a Global Champions League doesn't need a window. It would only need, for example, during the international break, you could squeeze in 3 of the days to accommodate, you know, a global Champions League. I like that idea, though. I really like that idea, Inquisitive 8071. I actually think that's a really good video idea as well. Okay, so if I haven't answered your questions, keep bringing them, keep sending them. Okay. Orange Broom said Portugal attacked like crazy in the second half, but our B team defense looks really good. I don't think that's a Croatian B team at all. I think that's a pretty strong Croatian team, and I think Zlatko Dalic is only experimented with certain positions to see how he can fill the voids left by Mario Mandzukic and, you know, Subasic and company. So I don't think it's a B team at all. It's a pretty good team that Croatia fielded. I looked at the lineup and everything. Portugal, on the other hand, they are playing a B team, if you want to call it that, an experimental team as well. Persian predicts, did I answer your question? Who wins the Champions League? Okay, I think I already talked about that. Why didn't you include Mandzukic in your ex-Yugoslavian team? Asked Manu Games. Well, that ex-Yugoslavian team video seems to be somewhat of a controversial topic to some who want to actually look at it in a political perspective. But the video was not made from a political perspective at all. If you guys know me, I'm not a political guy. I don't like to get too caught up into politics. So my videos are not made from a political standpoint. So never ever look at them from a political standpoint, because I made a Yugoslavian 11 in 2018, what it would look like if the Yugoslavia never broke up and it was still a unified nation. And of course, if it was still a unified nation, it obviously means that there would be, you know, peace and love in the nation if it was still unified, you know, like mostly peace and love in the nation. Let me just say that. So I did not make it in mind to say, you know, Croatians against Serbians or, you know, whatnot. It was never meant for that or anything. And I had to put all the footballing nations in there. That's why Kosovo was in there, Macedonia, Montenegro, Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia, you know, so Bosnia and Herzegovina. So whoever want to criticize the video, that's them looking at it from a political standpoint and them taking it too personal when it's never was a personal video at all. It was a video made about football. And we all know the teams who made up, the countries that make up the former Yugoslav nation, you know, awesome footballers from that region, definitely. But okay. All right, so Brian Hitter Joseph said that Wesley Sneijder retired from international football today. I guess this was his farewell match, because I was actually surprised that I saw him, you know, in the squad. I was really surprised. I was like, he's still playing? I know Arjen Robben retired. I think Huntelaar retired too, right? Huntelaar still plays for Ajax, but I think he retired from international duty, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I'm still looking for questions. So if I missed your questions, you know, pardon me. All right, Double A says the UEFA Nations is just as bad as friendlies. I do not agree with you. I don't agree with you, and I'm not gonna, you know, elaborate on that. I don't agree with you. All right, Aliu Ndaye asks, okay, I saw your question. Which African team do you think will win the World Cup first? That is a difficult to ask question. It is really difficult. You have teams like, you know, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Senegal, North African teams in Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Tunisia. Am I forgetting Ghana? You know, it's hard to pick one team from Africa that I think is actually going to be the first ever World Cup winner. It's hard. It's really difficult. It is really difficult. African football is so hard to predict. Like, it is so hard to predict. They're so mercurial, you know. We never know what they're going to do. We never know. They might show up on a day and impress, and we're like, wow. And the next day, the very next day, we're like, what happened? What happened yesterday? This is not the same team, you know? So that's how I feel about, you know, the African nations. All of them. All of them. But who would win the World Cup first? It's tricky. It's really tricky. It's really tricky, and I just can't find an answer to that question right now. For real. For real. And I know a lot of you guys feel about that, though. I know a lot of you guys feel about that. Feel the same way about that. Okay. So, questions. Do you think Sporting will go to the next phase? Luis Neves. All right. You're from Portugal, I would assume. The next phase, meaning in the Europa League, if they would advance to the next phase. I don't think I actually did predict them to advance out their group, you know, because Sporting went through somewhat of a crisis in the off-season and lost a lot of their, you know, big players, Gelson Martins and Rui Patricio, just to name two of those players. I think William Carvalho left as well, right? He went to Real Betis, I think. You know, so Sporting is not the same team they were last season. So they are in a rebuilding phase. So I think they can, but right now I'm going to say no, they do not. All right, Daniel Refi asked. Daniel Refi, what's up? Would you be upset if USA don't qualify for 2022 World Cup? No, I won't be upset, to be honest. To be honest, I won't be upset because ask me if I know 10 players from the USA football team right now, and my answer is No. Maybe the old team, but they are going through reconstruction right now, and you know, they haven't been in a tournament since what, the Gold Cup. So I don't really, you know, go on the internet and look up the USA players and stuff like that. So I don't really have that much of a soft spot for the US national team. So I'm gonna say, if they don't qualify, that's on them. You know, it will look bad, it will be really bad, but that's on them if they don't qualify. All right, Ziga Karoon, what's up, man? What's up? He asked, what is the time in your country? It's 12 a.m. here. Okay, it's actually 6:04 p.m. in New York City right now. 6:04 p.m. All right, so question. ARMO, for the 100th time, who will win the Asian Cup? I picked Iran to win the Asian Cup. Sorry, man, I didn't answer your question. Iran, I'm going for Iran right now. And I'm not changing my mind. I might make another video on the Asian Cup, but I'm not changing my mind. So Manu Games asked, he's saying, yes, maybe that's probably true and you didn't meant it as political, but you should never put Croatians in the same group as Serbians. Similar mistake as Vida did after the match versus Russia. All right, Manu Games, you need to stop with the BS comments about Croatia and Serbia and all of that. I'm not with that right now. I'm all for unity. And if you have a problem, or whoever Croatian has a problem with Serbians, that's your issue. That's not my issue. And I don't want to get into that, because look at me, guys. I'm a black guy, okay? Think about it. You just let that sink in. And I live in America. Just let that sink in. Think about what I have to deal with on an everyday basis in America. So I don't want to hear you guys complaining about stuff like that. Okay, so let's move on. Can you tell me, Def Q, can you tell me what if Serbia is playing which group and with who they're playing? They're in League C. And I can't remember who they're playing against. So, but they're in League C. Why this guy come here to... This guy just came here and parked his car, and he's idling right now, and it's just annoying. Okay. More questions. Okay, good. He turned his car off. All right, ARMO, he's not going to answer. LOL. I answered the question already. I'm still going down. Let me go to my most updated questions right now. Okay. Who is your favorite player from Iran? Okay, well, I know quite a few Iranian players. I'll have to go for Alireza Jahanbakhsh as my favorite player. You know, Mehdi Taremi is really good as well, but, you know, I'm going to say Alireza Jahanbakhsh. All right, I'll take a few more questions before I end this live stream. I'm going to actually do a 1 hour live stream, so 15 more minutes. I don't really want to make the video too long. We could actually talk about the Nations League, guys. Okay, Robert Lukachevich, what's up? What's up? Say hello to me. What's up? All right. Any more questions? Aliu Ndaye. Okay, who do you think will win the 2019 African National Cup or the Nations Cup? Okay. All right, African Nations Cup 2019, hosted by, is it Cameroon hosting it? Is it Cameroon? It's a funny question there. Who do I think is going to win the African Nations Cup, AFCON 2019? I know Cameroon won the last one, and they did not qualify for the World Cup. Senegal looks good, but African Cup of Nations, they're really hard to predict. They're really hard to predict. You have teams like Tunisia. You never know what Algeria can do, even though they are going through a really bad slump right now. We have Nigeria, very young, talented team. Ghana could bounce back after missing the World Cup. Who is going to win the 2019 African Cup of Nations? Morocco is looking good. Morocco is looking really good. I'm going to go between Morocco and Senegal. Morocco or Senegal. That's who I'm going to go for. Ariel loves Atlanta. Hi, what's up? What's up? Okay, there was a question just now. Okay, I miss. Orange Brew Mask. What do you think about FIFA Nations League? Wow. Is it the FIFA Nations League or the UEFA Nations League? Funny. You skipped me again. Please scroll up. Kiseli Krastavac. Okay, ask your question again, Christeli. Ask your question again. Because I'm actually looking right now. Imagine if Eritrea wins it. Wow, did Eritrea even qualify for the final phase? Like for the qualifiers, I don't know. Because I think they have a preliminary qualifiers as well before the normal qualifiers, so I don't know. Okay. Manu Games again. Issue is that thousands upon thousands of Croatians were killed in order to break away from Yugoslavia, and you come and put us in the same thing again, and when you wonder where the problem is, it's coming. Manu Games, I'm gonna block you if you don't stop. And I don't care, I will block you. Okay? Let me just let you know that right now. Because I already explained the video has nothing to do with that. Nothing. Nothing. You're going to unsubscribe because of a video about football. Has nothing to do with anything political. But anyways, CR7 Golazo ask, do you think India could ever become a big footballing nation? They have the money to do it, in my opinion. They do have the resources to do it, but they just have to start putting the money into it, because India has a lot of money. They put a lot of money into cricket, and imagine if football becomes as big as cricket is. It would be crazy. It would be crazy. Manu Games. Like, what is wrong with this guy, man? What is wrong with this guy? You know what I'm saying? Unsubscribed. He's telling me that he unsubscribed. You know? He is telling me that he unsubscribed. Guys, I don't pay any attention to that. I really don't. If someone unsubscribes today, 10 more would subscribe tomorrow. So why am I worrying about subscribers, subscriber counts? You know, I'm not worrying about subscriber count, because the real ones would always stay. The real ones would stay here as long as, you know, I'm putting out the content that they like. You know, seriously. That's just how I feel about that. You hear me say subscribe to the channel? I'm actually talking to those who are like-minded, for those who are going to stick around, because when I subscribe to a channel, I subscribe because I'm actually interested in the content, and I'm going to stick around, and I'm going to watch the video. And I'm not going to go there to troll and harass the people and all of that. I'm not like that. I'm definitely not like that. Okay. Josh C. After Ireland got destroyed, do you think they would bounce back? No, no, no. I'm predicting Ireland to get knocked back down to, not back down, but I'm predicting them to get relegated. League C. Definitely. Definitely. Don't worry about him. When you're the biggest football YouTuber, he'll come back. All right. MW Choli, what's up, man? You have been missing for quite a long time. What's going on in Denmark, man? What's going on in Denmark right now? It's in crisis right now. Okay, Marco Peritza. Yugoslavia would not win anything because of politics. They had to be an X number of players from certain nationalities because of brotherhood and unity. Yes, that could be a reason as well, you know. a lot of nations go through that. You know, certain players from certain regions in certain nations do not get called up, and it kind of hamper, you know, the progress of certain teams. It happens. It happens. Not only in a former Yugoslavian nation, but it happens in a lot of countries that are divided, even though they are still one country. But guys, not every single video that I make is actually gonna make everybody happy. Remember that. Not every video is gonna make everybody happy. If I'm not pissing anybody off when I make some videos, I'm not doing the right thing. I have to piss some people off. Some people got it. When you watch a video and you're either pissed off or you're extremely happy, you know. If you're either pissed off or you're extremely happy, that means I'm doing the right thing. Let me just put it that way. That means I'm doing the right thing. And I did not make the video to piss anybody off. I made the video because it's a concept, and you guys know that I like concepts, and I will do a lot more videos like that, but it's not going to be anything about Yugoslavia. Definitely no more Yugoslavian videos at all. Never ever put in that topic again in a video. But I have the next best 11 lined up, and it will be a Scandinavian 11. It's coming. The best Scandinavian 11 in 2018. That's the next best 11 video. I'm starting a mini series, you know, so that's what's going on there. All right, David Schultz. Who do you predict will qualify to the 2022 World Cup from Africa? I did make a video. I did make a 2022 World Cup prediction. So you have to go back and check that video, because right now I can't remember the nations that I actually predicted. Okay. Black MKY. No, true. You piss basically everyone with that video. I actually did not piss off everyone, but let's just wait and see what the video does a week from now. Let's just wait and see. Okay. Tree Primero asks, Dominic, do you watch American football at NBA? No, I don't. I definitely don't. I don't watch any American sports. Not baseball, not American football, and not basketball. None of them. I don't even watch tennis. Okay. And you act like I don't care? Then make a video about the Roman Empire or something. I actually can, but I don't think I don't know if I will, but I actually can. I can make a video about anything I want to make a video about, as long as it's about football. It has nothing to do with anything political. Nothing is political. Like, I really don't understand some people. I really do not understand some people. For real. Sounds like they fixed it, at least for the time being. Oh, okay. So MW Trolley is saying that the whole Denmark situation might be temporarily fixed. So I'm liking the sound of that. I'm really liking the sound of that. All right. Estonia, Konstantinos Antopoulos asks, Estonia, Greece in 2 days. Your prediction. Also, who is your favorite Greek player? I'm actually going to go for Greek to win that game. Greece to win that game. Greece is the stronger team. My favorite player from Greece, it has to be, there's a player, I can't remember his name. When I watched the Greece versus Croatia, the playoffs, there was a player that caught my eye. I can't remember his name. I'll have to go back and double check, but I think he is my favorite player. The name is just not coming to my head right now. It's just not coming to my head. But I'll have to get back to you on that one. All right. Austin Herzig, what do you think of the 32-team Europa League from 48 and a third-tier UEFA club competition of 32 teams? Well, that can work, and it could also not work. because who would watch the, well, not who would, people would actually watch the third tier because people from those nations. But will it have like a global appeal? The Europa League is already not really having a global appeal as the Champions League is. So if you add a third European competition, it would be hard. It would be, you know, I don't think it would make sense to do it. I think they should just leave it as it is. The Europa League with 48 teams, you know, and the teams coming down from the Champions League and all. I think that will work better than 3, you know, UEFA club competitions. Okay, so any more questions? What do I think about Son avoiding military service? Well, that's good for him. That's really good for him because I wouldn't really want to, you know, have to do military service at all. I really don't want to do military service. So thank you to all the troops out there who are performing their military duties. Why do you prevent Greek people to express questions? I never prevented any Greek people to express their questions or my questions. I really don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so questions. Okay. So Black MKY is actually still talking about the whole situation. All right. If you want to talk about that situation, about the comment on the video or leave a dislike or something, but I don't want to talk about that here right now. I really don't want to talk about that right now at all. Because a lot of things that happen on my, oh man, guys, it's like a storm passing right now. Like the sky is like totally gray. Like, wow. I have to wrap this live stream up pretty soon. It's getting really feisty in here, guys. That's why, you know, you see storm clouds and everything, and the winds are getting high. It's getting really feisty up in here. You know, I guess I pissed off a lot of people, and, you know, a lot of people appreciated that video too. But I don't want to talk about that video in here at all. If you want to talk about the video, go on the video, leave your comments, and be my guest. But I really think I put a lot of effort into making that video. It was a football related video. I took my time, I put together the team, I made it so that all the, you know, the former states of Yugoslavia could be happy, and still people are not happy. People are not happy. You know what I'm saying? I really don't understand this. But when I get racist comments on my channel, you never hear about it. You never hear me go and I complain about it and complain about slavery and oppression and all of that. You never ever hear me talk about that. You know, you never ever hear me complain. You know what I'm saying? So why? So he says that, and I left 80% of Croatians out, and it's not about quality, political, or correctness. How could I left 80% of Croatians out? More Croatians are in that lineup than any other nation. More Croatians. 5 Croatian players. While all the other nations had 3 or less. I don't understand what you're saying. I really don't understand what you're saying, because you're being unfair. And you're being, you know, I'm not saying it's not, it's a very sensitive situation, but it's a very sensitive situation, but don't act like, you know, my situation isn't sensitive as well. Don't act like it, and you don't hear me complaining. But guys, it's getting really dark. I think it's gonna, you know, there's gonna be a thunderstorm. There's gonna be a thunderstorm. Black MKY, I understand what you're saying. Stick around, man. Stick around. We will talk. We will talk another time. Come back tomorrow. I will do another UEFA Nations League live video tomorrow. But right now, the weather has gotten really, really bad, guys. It has gotten really bad. I'm not even exaggerating. You hear the wind and everything, and I will have to go. So thank you, everyone, for tuning into this live stream. It was a UEFA Nations League live stream, but you know, I was also talking about a lot of other things. You guys asked your questions. I didn't get to all the questions, but maybe hopefully next time I will. So I'm planning to do a few live stream videos on the UEFA Nations League on the upcoming days. I'm not promising anything, but I will try to do more live stream videos in the future. But guys, that's it, man. I gotta get out of here before the rain actually comes down on me. I appreciate everyone who tuned in, and you know, I respect everyone's perspective. I understand if people are feeling offended from that video, but remember, the video was made, you know, with a good heart. So just remember that. So guys, that's it for now. So until next time, I like to say peace out. Rich Squad. All right, how do I end this thing?